All right, Shalom, Lord Christ. Oh, he came in hot. All right, Lord of Christ. All right, so this is the ISBK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on the 1 West Home, New York, under Command of General Yohana. So what we're doing here tonight is this is the brotherhood and sisterhood class. And what are we here to do? We're here to teach brothers and sisters how to love each other again, right? We're here to inject love back into the ghetto, love back into the barrios, love back into the reservations. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the brotherhood and sisterhood class is about each week. This is what we talk about brotherhood and sisterhood, and we teach about it because it is truly the foundation that we need as a people to get in the position that is predestined for us to be in. But in order for us to get to that point, there is going to be some things that we're going to have to do to be able to get there. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and share the class 2. We're on 1 West ISUPK. Let me see real quick.
So I shared it to you on Facebook. So.
Okay. The water, appreciate that. Okay, I see. Okay, boom. I'm just sharing. I'm just doing my duty too. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers, man, they don't want to share it, huh? They're like, man, the hell, that ain't shit. But I'm just kidding. But we're about to go into it now. Before we get started, if anybody got any questions, we could definitely get them answered. But if not, we'll keep on moving. All right. Oh, and I need to send this out to one more person too. Lock here. All right, boom. So tonight's class, is it anybody in the chat? Everybody good?
There's people in the chat.
All right, Most High in Christ. So tonight's class is So You Knew in the Truth. And the reason I thought that tonight would be a good topic for this is because, for one, there is a few people that I'm talking to that is, new in the truth. You know what I mean? New coming in, new trying to, wrap their head around, all of the stuff that I say, which can seem a little radical, but, at the same time, those things will start to be able to make sense as you move along on your journey in the truth, right? And serving the Lord. One of the things that you got to understand is that, you got to start from the ground up. That's what the whole thing of the whole Bible, when it talks about being born again, it's about being born again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like learning from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Now you come into the truth, you got to learn what you're supposed to eat and what you're not supposed to eat. Now you got to learn, which is the dietary law. You got to learn, how to deal with your brother. You got to learn how to be able to deal with other nations. You got to learn what God requires from us. We got to learn the high holy days, right? So now you're getting away from celebrating your birthday, celebrating Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. You start to get away from those things and you start to learn what the Lord requires for us to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? So you start to learn all of those things in the truth. But one of the most important things that you need to learn in the truth is that God has laws, right? So it's not imperative that when you come into the school, you gotta be, we gotta talk about the microchip and, and all of that, that you've been hearing online and stuff like that. You don't gotta really get into all that first. You ain't gotta get into like the white man's the devil right away. The first thing you need to get into and understand is that God got laws. All right. As long as you start there, you'll be on your way to getting where you need to be. All right. And you'll get in this fight like the Lord requires us to be in this fight, right? Whether you're a man or a female. All right. So one of the important things too, when you know and understand that God got laws, right? You gotta know this. Let me get where was I at? I think it's Ecclesiastes 2:1. Yeah, I think that's it. Hold on. Ecclesiastes 2. Hold on. I don't think that's it. I need the one where prepare your soul for temptation.
Kind of the one coming.
I believe. It might be Ecclesiastes. Is it Ecclesiasticus or Ecclesiastes?
It's Ecclesiasticus.
Oh, Ecclesiasticus. Right. My bad. It's lucky. Ecclesiasticus 2:1. You need a apocrypha?
Yes, sir.
Got you. Hold on. There you go. No sweat. You got a Bible?
No.
Oh, you don't got a Bible?
I might, but
Hold on. We got you.
I'm good.
We got you. No sweat. Let me see. Mine must be in the back. Yeah. Mine must be in the back. It's a lot here. But we're gonna make sure that you'll be able to follow along, you know what I'm saying? Ecclesiasticus is in the Bible in the Apocrypha, right? And yeah. So we'll help you to get around. Now, if you start flipping through it or you can always go to the table of contents, right? If you don't know exactly how to like really navigate around it, you can always go to the table of contents and you can go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, all right? And then that way you'll be able to follow along, because it's important, that we follow along with the scriptures so that we can get our eyes on it. We're not in the Christian church. The church, people go there and don't even look at the Bible. Like, I be like, wow, this is because you go in there and they're going to give you a show for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to teach you nothing in church. They just want to sing for long hours. You know what I mean? Instead of actually giving you the real deal. That's why it's important when you come into these classes, we're going to teach you the Bible. You want to learn it? We're going to teach it to you. All right? No sweat. So you got it. You there, brother? Yeah. All right. Ecclesiasticus 2:1. All right. No sweat.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. You better be prepared. You know why? Because now, before, Satan didn't give a damn about you. Satan didn't give a damn about you because guess what? You was doing everything he wanted you to do. You know what I mean? You was doing drugs. He wanted you to do it. You was getting with hoes. He wanted you to do it. Right? And you was doing it. So why would he have to worry about you when you're already doing and yielding your members to Satan anyway? So but the difference is when you come to serve the Lord, now the eyes is on you, because now what you represent is the right side turning up of this kingdom. And what Satan already has a grip on, a hold on, right? So you're going to be the target. So you better prepare your soul for temptation. Say it one more time.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
You better prepare yourself, because guess what? It's coming. You might be a brother, man. You think, oh man, I'm gonna be able to just breeze right through. Yeah, all right. You might be a brother that might in the world you might not have even been getting had opportunities at women that like you would when you get in the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you get in the truth, women all over the place. You want to say something?
If I could, Adawan, what I noticed is a lot of times when brothers are going through temptation, they don't even realize it's a temptation. They think it's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's something that's only only that is involving them, and they don't realize that the reason why they're being tempted is because the Lord is testing them, and they're supposed to pass that test, but they get so caught up in their own feelings and don't get counsel that they end up being out of the truth after just getting in it for a short time.
Right, exactly. Go ahead, you can keep reading. Good point.
Most High in Christ. All right. Did you want me to start at the top or just go down to verse 2?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
1 second, let me get there. All right.
Yeah, take your time. Cool.
Most High in Christ. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Mm-hmm.
set thy heart aright
Mm-hmm.
and constantly endure.
Right. So there's like getting your mind right and constantly endure, even when it seems like it's boring. You know, you got to keep going. You can't stop. That's the thing with the truth. Like you don't want, and we're gonna go into the parable of the sower. You know, tonight. You know, you ever heard of that? The parable of the sower. We're gonna go into that too, and it's gonna tell you about the types of people that's gonna come into the truth. But you want to constantly endure. Like when you start to get to year 5 and year 6 and year 10, you know, you want to keep remembering the things that brought you in here in the beginning. You want to stick to those things because what does the scripture say? It says, "He that endured to the end shall be saved." So what does that mean? Ain't none of us saved. Nobody. That pastor, he ain't saved. Your grandma, she ain't saved either. You know what I'm saying? The one with the super big hat, right? She is not saved, right? Although she thinks that she's a church-going woman and she's filled with the Holy Ghost and sanctified. She's not saved either. None of us are. Because it said, "He that endured to the end shall be saved." Go ahead.
Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou may be, Salakia, that thou may be increased at thy last end.
Right. In the end times. Okay, I think you were saying, make not haste in thine, I think you skipped over that, where it says, set thy heart aright and endure.
Oh, Salakia.
And make not haste in time of trouble. Right? So that means like run away from trouble when it does come. And a lot of times what people will do is like when that trouble comes, or you know, you start to feel like, you know, like these things, like something is tempting you and you can't you know, you don't have the tools you feel necessary to fight it, or you don't want to fight it because you're just simply weak. You know what I mean? You make haste, meaning you run away from the trouble. Instead of fighting it, you just go ahead and just give in to it. You know what I mean? So you make haste when it's time for trouble because what? Your heart wasn't built to fight the temptation when you came into the truth. And that's why it's saying when you come to serve the Lord, you better prepare your soul for temptation. All right? Let's get it. Let's go to Matthew 10 and 34. Matthew 10 and 34. That's in the Bible. Well, I saw the Bible, but you get my point. Matthew 10 and 34.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Ain't that what they said? Christ is all love. Christ is just coming just to give peace on earth. What did it just say?
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
What is the church talking about? And I don't know what they're doing. They going to, okay, you know what it is? It's because the church, the pastor of the church knows that people are lazy. And the black church is lazy. They don't want to do nothing. So the trade-off is you do whatever you want 90% of the time, as long as you pay 10% in tithes, right? That's a good trade-off for somebody that's lazy and don't want to do nothing, right? So when you go into a church, you just sit like this the whole time. Like you're going to be able to retain what the hell he's even talking about. Because you're not writing nothing down. You're not going in there with no notes. You're not doing nothing. You're just doing this. And then when it's time to sing, you get up and start running up and down the aisle, you know, flipping and doing, you know, a two-step instead of actually really trying to learn the Bible, because you feel that because he has a, what's that called? A theologian degree, right? Like somehow we could put all our trust in him because he went to school and got educated about the Bible. So he's the man that's going to lead us to salvation when he's not, because he doesn't even know the damn Bible. How are you going to know the Bible from the eyes of your oppressor? How is the oppressor going to teach you the Bible? The Romans killed Christ and they're going to teach you the Bible? That makes no sense. So what you want to do is make sure that you understand these scriptures by coming in and being taught by a man of the Lord. All right? Could you read out? He says, think not that I've come to bring peace, right? What else?
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace.
This is Christ talking. Go ahead.
But a sword.
Right. That's what Christ came to bring, a damn sword. Go ahead.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father.
Right. You know what variance means? It's like, I'll say it in like how they would say it today. Ops. You know what I mean? Opposite of what everybody else is into. Right? It's going to set you at variance with who was it again?
With Salakia against his father.
Right. That's how it's going to go. But let's read a little bit more of it.
And the daughter against her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
They of his own household. When you come into this truth, that's who is going to be your ops. It's going to be Mom Dukes. It's going to be Pop Dukes. It's going to be, your aunties, your uncles. They all going to wonder why you don't celebrate Christmas no more. They're going to all wonder why you're not turning up on the birthday. Because when you serve Christ, it is going to set you at variance between your own household. And guess who's going to be your foes, which is your ops, your household, right? Because they're going to wonder why you're not the same old person that we knew before. Why you're trying to stop your kids from celebrating Christmas now that you came into the knowledge of the truth. So now you don't want to do Christmas no more, and you telling the rest of your family, don't give my kids no gifts. Now they wondering what's wrong with you because you grew up celebrating Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna get those things. Those things are gonna come at you from every which way. And if you're not a type of brother that could handle the pressure, you're going to succumb to the pressure, and then you're gonna take your behind right back into the world, right? What you got to look at when it comes to coming into the truth is that the Lord gave you a gift. And the gift is that the world, you see the world through the perspective of the Lord, right? Which is a perspective that people don't get a chance to see. You know how people see the world through the perspective of? They see the world through the perspective of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? They see the world through the perspective of Love and Hip Hop. Baddies, they see it through that perspective. They don't see it through this perspective of the Lord, because what was everybody doing just a few days ago? They was bowing down to a damn tree. They don't know why the tree is even in their house. You don't know why the tree's in their house. You don't know why you bow down. You don't know why you put the gifts under the tree. You don't even know none of that. You just do it because you see the world through the perspective of social media. Through the perspective of what's that called? Mainstream media.
Right.
And that's what it is. And so when you see the world through the perspective of the Lord, you see it from a totally different perspective. That's why it's so important that you stay down when you get into the truth, because basically when you go back into the world, you're telling the Lord, nah, put me back to sleep. Nah, this is too much. I cannot see the world through this perspective. So the best thing for me to do is just go ahead and go back to sleep. I asked a sister, I said, because a lot of people they won't stop eating pork for the truth, right? They will not stop eating pork for the truth. But I asked him, I asked her, I said, so if somebody if you went to the doctor and the doctor said, hey, if you eat another piece of pork, we're going to have to cut your leg off or we're going to have to amputate your foot. Now, if the doctor told you that, would you stop eating pork? And the answer is yes, right? We all would stop. If you went to the doctor and he said, hey, look, man, no, matter of fact, ask the people that's on dialysis. Hey, man, if you could have changed anything, would you have to change this so you wouldn't have to be in here on dialysis for 4 hours every 2 days? They would say yes. I would have changed my eating habits. I would have ate less sugar. I would have exercised more. I would have done all of these things to make me not have to be in this situation here. And we all can understand that. But when it comes to the Lord, it's like we don't want to change because the Lord is not what we see on a day-to-day, right? So you could tell a person, yo, man, the Lord said that we ain't supposed to be eating shrimp, crab, and lobster and those things out of the ocean, except it has fins and scales. They say, I can't give up crabs. You know what I'm saying? But if the doctor told you, yo, if you don't give up these crabs, it's a possibility that you could catch a stroke, or it's a possibility that you could have, heart problems or complications that come with you eating it. You would stop immediately. You know what I mean? Unless you just wanted to die. You know what I mean? But I think that if you're have some sense of you know, and you're not completely insane, you would want to live, right? And you would stop doing what you were doing. So just transfer that, take the doctor out of the equation, and just put the Lord there. And then you can see the contrast to see why the same way you would listen to a doctor is the same way you should listen to the Lord, because the Lord is the one controlling life and death. So you would definitely want to listen to that person, right? So, boom. What was we at? Okay, you can start at 24. Think not that I'm come to verse.
We left off at Matthew 10 and 36.
Yeah, you could do that. Yep.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse 36.
Mm-hmm.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Mm-hmm.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
There's a lot of people that love their father or mother more than God. They do, don't they? They love. You know what? We always be like, see, I love God. Nicki Minaj up there. See, I love God. What is it? Donald Trump. God bless America. Everybody love God, but don't nobody want to do what the Lord said to do. And that's the part where you get where you see where what's that called, the fakeness is at,
right?
Because everybody loves God. I mean, strippers, before they go on the pole, they just say a prayer, don't they? They say a prayer. Before a rapper goes up there to tell you to kill everybody, they pray to God that they have a good show, right? But when it comes down to, or can you do what the Lord said to do? The one thing that we always try to get over as Black people, as Hispanics, Native Indians, we've always tried to get to the Lord, but not by the right way. We've always tried to get to the Lord without following the Bible. And a lot of people, they won't even want to follow the Bible. But ain't that the reason why we all here? Ain't that the reason why you go to church? You go to church because you're trying to get to heaven, right? If you really want to just lay it all out flat, you want to go to heaven. You don't want to go to hell. That's why you're there, right? So you'll listen to all the singing, all the dancing, all the shouting, all the speaking in tongues. You listen to all that, even though you know that the pastor is a flaming homosexual. You'll go to that church because you want to go to heaven, right? Now, why are we all here? Why are you going to church? Because Christ is written about in the Bible. So if Christ is written about in the Bible and you go into a church where there's a pastor reading out of the Bible, whereas he only reads one scripture. Let me just clarify that. Right. One scripture out of the Bible. Wouldn't you want to listen to the book that is the basis for your whole religion? Or would you just want to say, okay, well, I believe in God, but I just don't want to believe in nothing and do anything that he says in the book? You know what I mean? Like, that's literally how really what's going on. So, boom. Keep going.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Son or daughter, right? Because like you're gonna have to tell that daughter of yours, man, look, we ain't gonna be no Christmas. Ain't gonna be no Thanksgiving. Ain't gonna be, I'm not celebrating your birthday no more. She might be mad at you or whatever, but she'll respect you later. You know, my daughter don't even call me on her birthday because she already knows what it is. You know what I mean? Like if she do call me, I'll be like, oh man, you're getting old, man. You're getting old, man. You're getting older. Somebody at the door? Yeah, you're getting older. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not gonna be like, happy birthday. I ain't doing all that. My daughter understands that. That's why, you know, my daughter understands that. That's why she doesn't even call me on those days, because she knows that I don't celebrate birthdays, right? And that's what it all has to boil down to as well, is that you have to stand with the Lord, or are you going to stand and just do whatever you want to do, all right? Boom. Nah, we cool. All right, go ahead. You got it.
Verse 38.
Mm-hmm.
And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
Right. The cross is your burden. If you're not willing to take on the burden of following and when Christ returns, he gonna go and say, yo, roll with me. When you couldn't even stop eating pork. You think if that's what you believe, that heaven is in the sky, you think you're going to go into the sky, into heaven, if you didn't do nothing? You're going to hell. That's what you believe, right? It's like, I don't know. Christians think that nobody goes to hell. Because Young Dolph got killed, right? And so did King Von, and they had angel wings on them. And that's all he talked about was shooting and killing people. And he had angel wings. So I was like, wow. Everybody goes to heaven. Nobody goes to a funeral and the pastor say, well, this man right here, he's probably going to hell. So we might as well just go ahead and close the casket up and get up out of here, you know what I mean? Because he definitely went to hell. They're not going to say that. They're going to say he's in the bosom of the Lord. And he just was this and that. While he didn't got, well, how many hats he got? 4 or 5 hats. You know what I mean? Maybe even more. Yeah, you got 14 hats, and you going to heaven. All right, let's get it. All right, boom. Let's go to let's go to the parable of the sower. Let's break that down. That's in Mark. Let's go to Mark. Mark 4:1.
Kind of the one.
You there, brother? Mark 4:1. Get you right. Get the parable of the sower. This is a good scripture right here, a good breakdown right here. And this is more so like, you know, when you read the parable of the sower, it's going to like break it down as a parable, right? But we're going to break the parable down for you today, all right? Now, what is a parable? A parable is something that you use, like you use an illustrated story to get a point across, right? To tell a story with a deeper meaning. So whenever like Christ would teach, I'll tell you, just like this is how Christ would teach. Christ would say, he would say something like this, like, red fish, blue fish, yellow fish, green fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Shalom. Walk off. Then you be like, what did he just say? You know what I'm saying? The reason that you didn't know what he just said was because it was a parable. And he said the parable so that only certain people would be able to get it. And then most people wouldn't be able to get it. Right? And we're going to break it down, one of his parables that he talked about, right? Called the parable of the sower. Now, when Christ said this parable, even the disciples didn't know what he was talking about. But we're going to break it down so you can see what he's talking about, all right? Shalom, Lord Christ. All right.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he began again to teach by the seaside.
Mm-hmm.
And there was gathered unto him a great multitude.
Mm-hmm.
So that he entered into a ship
mm-hmm.
and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land.
Right. So Christ is in the boat, and he's teaching to the brothers that's on land. All right, go ahead.
And he taught them many things by parables,
mm-hmm.
and said unto them in his doctrine,
mm-hmm.
Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow.
Anybody know what a sower is? I'm pretty sure everybody here know what a sower is. You know, like when you go out with the seeds and you're going like this, you're throwing the seeds like that. That's what you're doing. You're throwing seeds. You're sowing seeds. But that person that's throwing seeds, that's a sower. You know, you on the farmland, digging in there, throwing them seeds out, right? That's what's going on. Go ahead.
Some fell by the wayside,
mm-hmm.
and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up.
Mm-hmm. All right, say that one more time.
Kanadawankan. Some fell by the wayside,
mm-hmm.
and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, boom. So now we got to find out, what is he talking about? Now, these seeds that this sower is throwing, some of the fowls, which was the birds, they came and ate some of those seeds up, right? But let's skip you down to 14, and then we'll go back up, all right? Skip you down to verse 14. Let's find out, what was he talking about here?
Kanadawankan. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
The sower soweth the word,
Mm-hmm.
and these are they by the wayside.
Right. The sower soweth the word. So everybody here has seen camp. That's a sower. The sower is up on the podium and they're sowing the word. Right. They're talking. They're telling them, hey, look, we got to get off of drugs. We got to keep the commandments. We're the 12 tribes of Israel. We got to keep the laws of God. And we're saying that's the sower that's sowing the word, right? And as we're throwing those seeds out, keep reading.
And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown.
Right. So we about to break it down for you. Go ahead.
But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
Right. So like, let's just say you talking to somebody. You breaking it down. You telling them, hey, we ain't supposed to be celebrating Christmas. You know, Christ is black, blah, blah, blah. And they listening to you. But then Satan's going to come immediately. How is Satan going to come? Somebody going to come by and say, hey, man, don't listen to these dudes. These dudes is they're a hate group. They, they hate white people. Right. And that's Satan that's going to come and the word. Remember, did y'all see the video where in Houston camp, I think it was Houston or San Antonio, a white man was on his knees about to, give a boot kiss, and who was trying to pick him up off the ground?
Brother.
Somebody blow my mind, who was trying to get him up off the ground? Yeah, there you go. Give him a hand. The black dude. Because that's always the saver, right? He's Captain Saver dude. Right? It's always got to be that. Because guess what? That's Satan right there. Satan right there. Because he's sowing the word, and then somebody come right by and says, hey, look, you don't got to listen to this. You always want to save. And a lot of people, like our brothers and sisters that like be out at camp and stuff like that, they really be listening sometimes until somebody come by and take the word that was sown in their heart. Keep reading.
Kanadawankan.
Was that the end of the
That was the end of verse 15.
Okay. Okay, boom. Let's go back up to verse 5.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And some fell on stony ground,
Mm-hmm.
where it had not much earth.
Right. So some of these seeds, he was throwing them out, and some of these seeds, they fell on stony ground where like the road was at. You know what I mean? Or they fell like, where it might have been gravel or different things like that. It wasn't really in the dirt. All right, go ahead. Because, when you're throwing seeds, they go anywhere. Go ahead.
And immediately it's
start at 5 one more time.
Kanadawankan. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 5. And some fell on stony ground,
Mm-hmm.
where it had not much earth.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately it sprang up,
Uh-huh.
because it had no depth of earth.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
But when the sun was up, it was scorched. And because it had no root, it withered away.
Right, because these seeds, they didn't get into the ground. Right, so when the sun came up, the seeds that was on the stony ground, they got too hot. They got too hot and they just burnt up because the sun was just too hot and they withered away. Right. So let's get the understanding on what he was saying right here. Let's go down to verse 16.
Kanadawankan. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 16. And these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness.
Oh, Jesus is black. The Israelites, oh man, all 12 tribes, we all got to come together. Oh man, Commander General Yohana. Oh man, Captain Azaria. Everybody love everything when they first come into the truth. Oh man, this is dope. Hey, did you see this? Did you know Esau is a white man? Oh man. Right? But what happens?
And he have no root in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so endure but for a time.
Right. You just stick around for a little bit. You stick around. How many brothers and sisters do we know that is like this? Put a 1 in the chat if you know somebody like this. Or you've known people like this. They're gonna just stick around for a small time. They're gonna receive it with gladness though, Kohol. They're gonna be like, man, this is the truth. Oh, I love this. Man, this is wonderful. But they're gonna be like that seed that was sown on stony ground. Because when the sun come up, what? They're gonna get withered away. Right? Keep reading.
Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises.
When what arises?
Affliction or persecution. Because it's gonna be something that your family might say. Oh man, why you celebrate? You gonna take an order from another man? Oh, look how they dress. They dress like superheroes on the corner. Oh man, you gonna dress like that? You gonna take orders from a man when you go to work and take orders from men all day? Right. White men at that. But you go to work and do it. But when it comes to your brothers and sisters, it's like I can't take an order, right? You should want to take an order from your brother. You get my point? Because that's your brother. But you'll get that type of persecution. Oh, you don't celebrate Christmas? Oh man, you in a hate group? You in a cult? Hey, that's a good one. A cult. As if, I'd rather be in a cult that doesn't put up a tree in my house every year and wrap electric around it. I'd rather be in a cult that doesn't celebrate a bunny that lays eggs. You get my point? Right.
But I'm the crazy one in the cult. But that's the persecution that's going to come, the affliction that's going to come with the fact that, you got to get up and you can't stay asleep on Saturday. You got to get up, you got to go to camp. You got to, you got to come to class, you got to teach, right? It's cold outside. Yeah, it's cold. And the hawk is out there right now. The hawk is outside right now. And it will be a big thing if you can get out of bed to come here, right? But the affliction, the persecution, what else?
When affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake.
For the word's sake, like the work, right? Keep going.
Immediately they are offended.
Right, it's going to offend you. And guess what? You're going to be gone. Christ is breaking it down. That's what's going to happen. Brothers coming here. Go ahead. Oh, over some?
Yeah, just a little.
Brothers coming to the truth all the time. They hear the word. They receive it with gladness. This is if they make it past camp. Because the other brothers, they didn't make it past camp. Those are the brothers who we was talking to, and you see them around. And I see them all the time. I run into a brother. He be like, "Y'all still have classes, right?" Like, yeah, we still have classes. Yeah, y'all still in the same building? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought maybe y'all wasn't there. You know damn well we here. You got the number. You know my number. You know everything. But it's just like those are the brothers who Satan came and immediately took the truth away from them. So now they back. They just doing what they doing, and you just basically at this point when you're talking to them, you're just wasting your time and you just talking to the wall. You know what I mean? Not saying that the brother can't come around later, but at this particular time, he's not ready. Go ahead.
Kind of out of one kind, sir. If I could, what you're saying is so heavy. It's funny when brothers and sisters in the world say that we're a cult, because when I see cults, the people in those real good old fashioned ridiculous evil cults, they stay in there almost forever. They stay in there and they're tricked out of their finances. They're tricked into doing weird things, but they call us a cult. What kind of cult gets you to stop being on drugs? What kind of cult gets you to respect your mother and your father and mend relationships? What kind of cult, gets you to actually serve the Most High and stop serving Satan? So when brothers and sisters in the world say we're in a cult, it's kind of like, I don't even know. It's like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Because when cults, like I watch a lot of documentaries on cults. That's my thing to watch. Jim Jones took all them people down to Guyana, and what did he do? Make them drink punch that was laced with cyanide. We don't do that. You go home every day. These people had to go down there. You know why they were down there, right? They went down there. The congressman and all those people went down there because he was keeping them from seeing their family. He was keeping them from being able to leave and go and talk to their family and tell them how they were doing and all this other kind of stuff. We don't do that. You don't want to be in here, so what? Roll, right? That strengthens the ranks when you got people here that really want to be here instead of people that's just, here for a time, but they're going to roll. All right.
And go ahead. If I could just say one more thing. There's a new African pastor, and this is what a cult is. An African pastor right now, he farts in his congregation's face and says that is the blessing that is coming from God. Like I'm literally.
Hey, I need to get some blessings out. Those are God blessings I need to give out right now.
He farts in his congregation's face. That is a cult right there.
Right. Now, this is the thing. You ever see the other pastor who said that he was building Noah's Ark or something like that? And he had all these people coming there to get on the ark and roll out, and then it didn't happen. He's at the end of the world. And I'm gonna just say this publicly. Africans are the dumbest Christians by far. There's a lot of dumb Christians out there, but they are the top. Like they still believe in that their pastor is bringing people back from the dead, and he's casting out demons, and they still believe in what we was on back in the 1960s. Like they'll still bring somebody down with a wheelchair and be like, stand up. Let me see you stand up. Stand up in the name of God. And then the person stand up and start dancing, and they say, oh, it's a miracle. He healed them. Like they still believe in that kind of stuff. They still believe in these pastors that talk about the rapture and we all out of here. So if this is what I was laughing about when I saw that. So if you're building Noah's Ark and all that, there's nobody else gonna get on the boat except Africans. What about people that's here? Y'all are the only ones that's gonna. The Lord is gonna repopulate the earth with just y'all, not Nigerians. It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's the second type of brother that's gonna come into the truth, right? Which is the brother that's the seeds that's sown on stony ground, right? Boom. Let's go back up to verse 9. No, wait, I'm sorry. Verse 7. 4 and 7. Mark 4 and 7.
Kind out of one kind. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up.
Right. So this sower, he's sowing. Remember, some of the seeds fell on stony ground. Some of the seeds fell by the wayside, which is over by the road. But then now these seeds right here, they fell into the thorns. All right, keep reading.
And the thorns grew up and choked it,
and
it yielded no fruit.
It yielded no fruit, right? So let's go down and find out what Christ is talking about here. Let's go to verse 18. 4 and 18.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 18. And these are they which are sown among thorns.
So what's going on here is I'm reading you what Christ actually taught, right? And then I'm reading you the breakdown after he told the disciples what he was talking about, just to give y'all an understanding of how Christ actually taught. So when Christ went out there, remember, the people didn't hear what I'm breaking down to y'all right here. Like when it's saying these are the ones that are sown on stony ground. This is actually after Christ had already taught what he taught in the beginning of the chapter, and now he's breaking it down to the disciples because the disciples didn't know what he was talking about either. So when he went up there and he was talking to the people on the boat, he was like, there was a sower that went out to sow, and some of the seeds they fell on by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and ate them, and then they didn't have, they went away. Then these are the ones that are sown on stony ground, that they didn't have the depth of earth, and then the sun was scorched. That's how Christ was teaching. He didn't actually break this down to the people. He only broke it down to the disciples after they asked him about the parable. Go ahead.
Kind out of one kind. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world.
And the what?
And the cares of this world.
This is the third type of brother that's going to come into the truth. The third type of sister that's going to come into the truth. The cares of the world is going to choke the truth out of you. And we all know what that is. You got your slavery, right? I'm at my slavery. I can't make it. I'm at my slavery. Or you got other engagements that you have to go to that's going to keep you from doing the work of the Lord. And when that happens, it's going to make you unfruitful in the truth, right? Because the cares of the world, like you be like, oh, well, you know, I'm tired, or I got this to go, or I'm working on this, you know, I'm working on going and getting some, you know, crypto or whatever it is. And you're not going to be focused on the truth. And it's going to be the thing that's going to take you out of here ultimately. Keep going.
Khan out of one Khan. And these things are they, Salakia. Let me see, Salakia. Such are
You go ahead and take it from 19.
Khan out of one Khan. And
Hold on, 15. Just take it from 15, just to refocus everything.
Go back up, Khan out of one Khan. The book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And these are they by the wayside.
No, these are which are sown among thorns.
Okay, Salakia.
18. I'm sorry, 18.
Khan out of one Khan. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lusts of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful.
Right, because you're weak, and you can't take affliction. You can't take what comes along with the truth, right? You can't endure. And when those things happen, you are going to be like those seeds that got sown amongst the thorns, because the cares of the world is what's going to choke you up, and you're not going to be fruitful in the truth at all. And you're going to be out of here because you worried about the world so damn much. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to end up happening to you. And this is the third type of brother that's going to come into the truth, right? And then let's see the fourth brother. Let's find out about the fourth brother. Who's the fourth brother? And this is the one I think we all should want to be, right? Even if you a sister in this school, right? Let's go back up to Matthew 4 and 8.
Khan out of one Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 8. And other fell on good ground and did yield fruit.
Right. So some of these seeds, they went in good ground. They went in the ground and they yielded good ground. Go ahead.
And did yield fruit that sprang up and increased.
And it what?
And increased. And brought forth some 30 and some 60 and some 100.
Right. So some of these seeds, they went in the ground, sprang up trees, and then off the trees, all this fruit was on these trees. Right. You're looking out at a the crop, and the crop is yielding seed. So like it's yielding seed, and it's got fruit, and it's some 10, some 20, some 30. Right. But we're going to read it. Right. Let's read the breakdown in verse, I think it's verse 20.
Khan out of one Khan. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4 and verse 20. And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it and bring forth fruit.
When they hear the word, what they do?
Bring forth fruit.
And they receive it, right? When you hear it, you receive it. Go ahead.
Some 30-fold. Some 60, and some 100.
Right, but in order to get this, you got to be willing to lose everything. You know what I'm saying? Like some brothers gonna come into the truth, some sisters gonna come into the truth, and you're gonna be able to bring 10 people in here. You're gonna be able to bring 20 people in here. Some people you're gonna be able to bring 30, right? You're gonna be able to bring mad people into school because you are that seed that fell on good ground, and when that seed sprung up, you was able to bring more people in here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we all want to strive to. You don't want to be like the brother who got the seeds, got sprang among the thorns, because now you out of here because you worried about the world and the deceitfulness of riches. Now your pockets hurt and you like, oh, well, I thought because I'm in the truth, I'm supposed to win the lottery. You get my point? Like, it's like, it don't work like that. It's about the truth is the one thing that you have to prove to it why you should be in it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I'll give you an example. When you work at a job, what are they trying to do to you? Work here. Look how much we pay. Look how many breaks we give throughout the day. Look at all the people that we have here that have been working here for 20 years. You should work here. This is a good place to work. You work when you go to your land, if you live in an apartment or somewhere where you live, they say you should stay here. Look at all these amenities we have. We got laundromats. We got parking. You know what I mean? We got a dog park. You know, this is why you should pay your $1,500 a month to stay here. You get my point? Oh man, you know, everything is always in life is trying to prove to you why you should come to them. But in the truth, you got to prove to the truth why you should be there. That's how it is. That's how it goes, right? And you have to go against your mind, because a lot of times, you know, you'll sit back like, man, I don't really feel like doing this today. You know what I'm saying? I always make sure that those are the days I go hard. Those are the days I want to make sure that I'm gonna go, because I might feel like I don't want to go, which is, you know, that's a natural emotion not to want to do something sometimes. But those are the times when you should fight, especially if you're coming into the truth and you know. You better fight and you better stand up, because what's going to come is more adversity. It's going to come. The more you move up, the more rank you get, the more everything is going to come with sacrifice. And nothing worth having is going to come without sacrifice. You know, everybody tries to do something without sacrifice. That's why everybody's trying to play the lottery. The lottery, people be like, oh, man, if I could just be a billionaire. So they go in the damn store and be like, let me get 772, 572, 50-50 box. Let me get 217, 50-50 box. Let me get 137, 50-50 box. Did you say 136? No, I said 137. But give me 136 since you said it. 50-50 box. You get my point? Man, holding up the whole line because you're trying to get something without sacrifice. And it just don't work that way in life. In life, anything worth having, you are going to have to work for it. You're going to have to be a machine. You're going to have to hustle night and day, 24/8. That's the way it go, right? Because the only way that we're going to get to where we need to be is by work. The oppressor work. He don't go home. He don't get off. You know, we get off. What time we go? We go work 7-3, get home, and go to sleep, and sit back and watch TV all night until you pass out. The oppressor don't do that. He work 24 hours a day on how he can destroy you. The East Indians, they are working 24 hours a day how they can destroy you. Who else? Them Chinese, they working all night long. And guess what's open on Christmas? The Arab stores, right? They open. They don't give a damn about no damn Christmas, but they want you to come here to get your blunts, to get all your libations that you need to have a good Christmas, right? All these nations, they are never off of their job, but we relax and we get off of ours because we don't understand what it takes to actually be able to be in a position to rule the world, right? Because we just been so beat down, we think that it's just normal to just not give a damn about politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, you tell somebody, yo, you ever check out this thing on C-SPAN? Did you ever check out the oversight committee on C-SPAN? Ha! C-SPAN. I'm not watching that. Watching C-SPAN. I'm about to watch Adam 22. I'm about to find out who's snitching. That's far more important than finding out about what's going on in the UN. Let's find out what rapper got out of prison that was snitching. That's far more important. You watch C-SPAN, you watch these oversight committees, you watch all of these political things. It's like what you see white people fighting for resources, white people fighting for dominance. You see other nations fighting for dominance and resources and what is going to put their people in the best position possible, right? What are we worried about? What's the new dance on TikTok, right? Who's lit on Instagram, right? Followers. What's the point of having followers if you can't get $1 out of either one of them? You know, I got 1 million followers and you still broke. You just got good content and you're broke. You get my point? All right, we got to stop. We got to get out of the mindset of not doing what's necessary for us to actually be put in the best possible position for ourselves. And the only way we're going to do it is by these laws, these statutes, and these commandments right here. That's why we got the y'all can see this on camera, right? That's why we got can you take off the bottom part, the social media joint? Let me show y'all something. See this right here? This is called this is our Salakia. These are our scrolls right here. Y'all can see it? All right, yeah, these are our scrolls. The reason why we salute the scrolls is because this is the foundation of our nation. Everything we need to be able to flourish, to survive, to be on top of everybody is right here, right? That's why we salute it, right? And it's the foundation of our nation. The thing is, we don't look at that as the foundation of our nation. We look at that as a white man's book. But who doesn't look at it like a white man's book? The Jewish man. What does he do? He looks at it and says, oh, what's this here? Oh, it says that the Jews are black. Guess we got to put black on. Oh man, it says, damn, it says, man, it's Feast of Hanukkah. Oh, it said they had a 7-stick menorah. All right, we'll make ours 9. Right? We'll follow this. Oh, it says they're supposed to be separate from everybody. Okay, we'll be separate from everybody. See my point? And they look at our records and they say, we're gonna do this. We're gonna assume this identity. And we're gonna actually do it. And what we doing? We like, man, that's a white man's book, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be reading that white man's book. What we need to be doing is watching YouTube and find out who's snitching. Right? Let's see who's snitching. That's more important than this. And it's not. All right. But when you find out this truth, and this is for our brothers and sisters that's new in the truth, that's coming into the truth, or if you've been in the truth and you might need a refresher, right? This class is for you. All right. But let's find out why you get to see the world from the Lord's perspective. Why? You got this truth from the Lord. Lord ain't have to give you this truth. You could have just kept it moving. You would have been on the deacon board right now. In the church, on the deacon board, right? Shouting and running up and down. If you fall out, they got to put the blanket over you. You've been laying out so long, they got to put the blanket on. You really got to fake in church too. Church, you got to fake so bad. And I tell the story all the time. I remember when I had to fake, man. I was up there. They told me, they said, I see people, the pastor putting hands on people, they fall right out. You've seen that before. Everybody's seen that. The people come up, it was a line of people. They come up, the pastor put their hands on the person's forehead, they fall right out. And then they put a sheet over you. The two women in front of me, boom. Put their hands on them, they fall out. So I'm like, damn, I'm next. He put his hands on me. I ain't feel nothing, but I was like, let me just go ahead and fall out. I laid on that ground for about 5 minutes. I was conscious. I just was laying there with my eyes closed because I felt that was the right thing to do, right? When it wasn't, right? And this is why it's important, man, like to come in here and get this truth. And, let's stop playing with the gift that the Lord gave us, right? Boom. Let's go to verse 10, Matthew 4 and 10. And then we're going to read it down to verse 12.
Salaki, you said Matthew 4 and 10?
No, Mark 4 and 10. I'm sorry. Mark 4 and 10.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 4 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable.
Right. So now we're getting to the point where he said what he said in the first part of the chapter, but now the disciples are asking him, like, what was that you were saying? You know what I mean? Like, what was that? What was this? It was dope how you said it. You know what I mean? The parable, the sower, all of that. Like, what was it that you was breaking down? And this is what Christ said to him.
And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God.
Right. So every brother that's in the truth, every sister that's in the truth, say it one more time. One more time.
Unto you it is given.
Not to your granny, not to Mom Dukes, not to your pops, not to your brother in some cases. I was lucky. My brother came into the truth. But for the reality of it is not everybody's brother going to come in here, right? Not maybe your pops. Your pops might hear the truth. He might come in, but your mom won't. You get my point? But Lord allow all of them come in. But the reality of it is unto you it is given to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of God. Keep reading.
But unto them that are without.
Without what? The truth. Go ahead.
All these things are done in parables.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. That's what they hear. They don't hear, we got to get off drugs. We got to, we got to come together. We the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what they hear? Red fish, blue fish. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. They don't hear none of that, what you talking about. You can say, man, see, Christ is black. And they're going to hear you say, wah, 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 wah. That's it. And then you're going to be like, nah, but I'm trying to tell you that, we got to keep the commandments and we got to get off drugs and we got to start celebrating Christmas. They're going to be like, wah, 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 wah. And then they're going to be like, and you're going to be like, why don't y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? What I'm saying? I'm saying Christ is here for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They're going to say, why are you racist? See what I'm saying? That's how they're going to look at it. They're going to be like, you're a racist. They're not going to, it's because what? Say it one more time, unto you.
It skipped up for me. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables.
Right, the parables, the knick-knack, paddywhack, right? Right, that's how Christ was talking, right? Oh, you needed some more comfortability, man. Why don't you go get a section, man? Go get you a section, man. If it's like that, man. Go ahead.
That seeing they may see and not perceive.
Right, because you're going to see it and you ain't going to be able to perceive it. Go ahead.
And hearing they may hear and not understand.
Not understand. They're going to hear everything you said. You're going to go up in that crib and say, guess what I learned tonight in class? I learned that this, and this. And they are not going to understand. Why? Because all these things are done in parables. Keep reading.
Lest at any time they should be converted.
This is heavy right here. It says, lest at any times, what happened?
They should be converted.
Right. If Christ talked to them like he did on the second part of the chapter, then everybody would get it. Right? If I said that the sower sowed the word, and immediately Satan comes and take it away. Right? But these are those who are sowed on stony ground, such as hear the word and the cares of and immediately they are offended. If Christ talked to people like that out on the streets, then everybody would get it and their sins will be forgiven. But what is it saying when Christ said that he's speaking in parables? Because if he spoke straight, they would be forgiven. So what is Christ trying to say here? Somebody say it. Just say it out loud. He doesn't want them to be saved. He doesn't want everybody to be saved. He only wants the people that can understand the parable to be saved, because he knows that people are wicked. That's why the white man reads this and he like, they went out a sower to sow. Oh man, these seeds are just wonderful seeds. He's in church like the wonderful seeds. They gotta grow. That's how they talk. At 4 o'clock in the morning, they're like, the seeds that grow off the trees, they're wonderful. Do y'all feel the mighty power of God? Go ahead.
They always talk about the mustard seed.
Yeah.
They put mustard seed.
Yeah, we have faith of a mustard seed, and you can see it shine down. Right? That's how they, because they're reading a parable. They're not reading what we're reading, because we're reading the Bible straight and not scrambled up. You know what I mean? And that's how they're looking at it. And the Lord did it for a reason. The reason that the Lord put the stumbling blocks into the scriptures is so that everybody wouldn't get it, and that the right people would get it, which is us right here. Right? Boom. I just got a couple more scriptures, then we're gonna be up out of here. All right.
So if I could, you mentioned the pastors and how they teach. Could like the disparity in what they teach versus what we teach is so far. Could I just show an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I
Let's
could.
get it.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this to the screen for us real quick, because this is what's going on in the Christian church right now.
Mm-hmm.
screen for us.
So you might have to mute the mics so they can be no.
Kind out of one kind.
Praising. I feel like I just snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And I never did that before. For the record. For the record. For the record. For the record. But I'm clapping my hands. I'm clapping. I'm praising. I feel like I just snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And I never did that before. For the record. For the record. For the record. For the record. But I'm clapping my hands. I'm clapping.
That's great.
All right, we back, sir.
That's wow. He felt like he should have some coke.
He definitely was on cocaine, Salaki.
Oh man, that is funny.
But Salaki, did you want me to pick up at verse 13?
What was we at? 13?
We left off on Salaki. I can reread 12 because we didn't finish it. When it says, and hearing they may hear and not understand. Kind out of one kind. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 12. That seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted, and their sins should be forgiven them.
Then that's it. Because if Christ spoke straight to everybody, everybody would get it, and he didn't want everybody to get it.
Right.
Let me see. I got a couple more scriptures. Okay, so let me get 1 Timothy 4 and 1. 1 Timothy 4 and 1. That's at the back. 1 Timothy 4 and 1. It's to the back. The book. Let me see. Anybody know anything about Timothy? Timothy was Paul's, how I would say it, young bull. You know what I mean? He rolled with Paul, you know, and when he went to go set up his schools, you know, Paul gave him the understanding on how to set up the schools, right? What he should do, what he should look out for, different things like that. So this is 1 Timothy 4 and 1. And this is what Paul wrote to him.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, and verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times,
right? Go ahead.
Some shall depart from the faith.
Say it one more time.
In the latter times, some shall depart from the faith.
One more time.
In the latter times, some shall depart from the faith.
Right, the faith. But let's find out what faith is. You know where I want to go. I think it's hold on. Let me see. Let me go to James 2 and 26. Hold that, but let me go to James 2 and 26. Y'all hold y'all spot there real quick. Let's find out faith. What, would you have something in Hebrews?
Salaki, about faith.
Yeah. If you got something, we can go there too. But I just want to go to James 2 and 26 real quick. But we can go to where you want to go.
No, we 12, sir. All right, Salaki, you said James
2 and 26.
Kind out of one kind. All right.
Hold on. Am I in the right one? Hold on. I'm tripping. Hold on. I could be in the wrong one. Hold on. It's lucky, y'all.
I believe you're in the right one.
I'm in the right one?
I believe so.
Most High in Christ. I'm sorry. Yeah, James 2 and 26. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hold on. No, I'm tripping. 2 and 17.
2 and 17, kind out of one kind. This is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 17. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead.
Okay.
being alone.
Right, there you go. So faith without works is dead, right? So let's go back to where we was at, which is faith without works. Where was we just at? Slock here.
We were in
First Timothy 4,
4:1.
right? First Timothy 4.
This is the book of First Timothy, chapter 4, and verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
Yes. Will it mean that, okay, you just going to just depart from knowing that Christ is black? No. You're not going to depart from, not knowing the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel is black. No, you're not going to get away from that. You're going to get away from the work. And the faith without the works is dead. So and this is when it starts to get, when the truth starts to appear to you to be boring, right? And you start to say, well, it's kind of boring, right? I don't want to do this like that, like I really wanted to in the beginning. This is when you got to do it more, right? Because if you don't, you will be at the Christmas party like, how the hell did I get here? That's how it works. That's how the Lord works. The Lord will put you somewhere and then you'll realize it like, damn, I'm at the company softball game on Christmas. You know what I mean? How the hell did I get here? And then you'd be like, hold on, I got to call a brother in the school. And now I got to call somebody. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. Hey, Cap, yeah, I'm gonna come to class. Be like, oh, no sweat. You be like, yeah, y'all still have class at 1232 North King Street, right? I'm like, nah, we ain't there no more. Yeah, well, the last time I was there, it was warm outside, and now it's warm outside again, right? So it ain't been that long. Be like, nah, man, it's been like 2 years. We've been in that building since 2 years ago. You be like, what? It's been 2 years? Yeah, you've been gone for 2 years. You didn't even realize it. You've been going out the truth for 2 years, and you didn't even realize it. Because you know what you kept saying in your mind? I'm gonna go next week. I'm gonna go next week. I'm for sure I'm gonna go next week. Yeah, I'm about to get back. I'm gonna get back in there. It's gonna be next week. Before you know it, it's 2029. You know what I mean? By the time you try to come back, it's like it's gonna be a whole different thing, all different people, and you're gonna be like, damn, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you stay strong with the truth, and you don't let none of this happen to you. I always knew when I came into the truth, I didn't want none of this to happen to me. So it's like when you hit the ground, hit it running, and keep moving your feet. Figure something out. If you a sister, keep moving your feet. Stop worrying about what your husband is doing all day. Figure out how to get some food out of Walmart. Figure out how to be able to get in spaces that maybe I can't get into because I'm 6'7". When they're going to see me coming, they're going to be like, you're not getting nothing out of here. Let me call the cops. You get my point? So sisters, you could work too. You could figure out how to do some work too. The truth is not about just trying to police everything that your husband do, right? It's about doing things to keep your feet moving so that you don't fall out the truth, so that you don't just get complacent in the truth and you don't move forward because you're going to become that seed that was sown on what? Thorns and stony ground. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be that seed that's going to be unfruitful in the truth. If you a brother, keep your feet moving, right? You want to keep on trying to figure out what you can do. I don't never stop having ideas. Just keep having ideas. Do the idea, right? Well, I think we should have a magazine. Put out the magazine, right? I think we should have a podcast where we talk to people. Talk to people, right? Do it. There ain't no time to be trying to come up with all these great ideas without moving on it. Remember, you create the reality, create it. So now we could be like, oh, I could go on your podcast, right? And I can sit on there and and answer some questions and have a good time on your podcast. Just do it. Don't waste your time. Just so many of our people, we just waste time having the idea about what would be great. You know, like I was talking to Captain Yatazak today. He said, people, you know, Captain Yatazak out of Houston. He said, I was talking to him today. He said, people will see this on social media. You want to make $10,000 a month? You want to ride? You want to get a box truck? You want to start your own box truck business? And you want to make $10,000 a month? Who wouldn't see that and be like, yeah, I want to make $10,000 a month, right? But guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to stay on the road forever. You're not coming home every night. You see what I'm saying? Everybody wants a good thing on the outside without having to put the work in.
Right.
But when it comes to actually having to put the work in to actually be able to obtain the goal, a lot of people ain't really ready to put the work in. And that is what's going to separate the boys from the men. If you need an example, look at Commander General Yohana. You tune in every Monday. You like, even if you don't do no work, you tune in every Monday like, yeah, they're going to be here. Why are you so sure they're going to be there? Is it because you know that they're working and you know that they're going to work and then you know that you can count on them doing work? Yeah, that's why you say Cross the Line Radio is going to be on Thursday. Well, what if it's not going to be on Thursday? But you don't have that doubt in your mind that it's not going to be on Thursday because you know that they're putting in work. So if that's if that is the example, then why don't you just follow the example and say, you know what? I want people to be able to count on what I'm doing, right? So when people call me, they're like, well, I know Cap is, you know, he might not answer the phone now, but he's going to answer the phone. Right. It's because you can count on that I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere, right? And I've put in years to stake my reputation on it. So I am going to be here. You have no problems with that, right? And it comes from me accepting my role, right, in the army of the Lord. And the role is work. Do it. Get you some, right? We go into work for the oppressor every goddamn day. You can't give 2 hours to the Lord. 2 hours? What? 7 to 9? What's that? 7 to 9? What? Ain't nothing. What time is it?
8:25.
8:25. What, an hour and a half? Some people couldn't make it for that. An hour and a half. But, right? But as you see, that's what's going to separate you from the men that don't want to work and the men that do want to work. All right? And so with that being said, I hope everybody got something out of today. I hope you didn't just let it go in one ear and out the other. Go ahead.
Ask a question for
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was battling somebody about the holidays, right?
Uh-huh.
And they went to Colossians 2:16 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
You know where it says, don't judge them in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or new moon or the Sabbath days. So I went to verse 17 and I said, what it says, which are a shadow of things to come. So I asked them, what are the shadow of things to come?
Mm-hmm.
And so I answered and I said that it's talking about how the Passover is going to change from us being in Egypt to the Lord freeing us in
right.
America. Is that accurate?
Right. Because look, and then it's like, okay, what's the basics of the argument that they're trying to say? Is that what? What's the basis of the argument?
They're saying that I can't judge them in their holidays and like celebrate Christmas.
You can't judge them in their holidays.
Or they want to celebrate Christmas.
So like, where are we?
So no, he went to Colossians, but what about Jeremiah 10:1?
Right.
What about I will not smell in your solemn assemblies? I know you took them there, right? All the different scriptures there.
We've been going back and forth between the verse, and they're trying to say that Christmas isn't pagan.
Okay, so
they don't believe it's pagan.
Right. So where would it come from?
Because I posted a picture.
No. I'm not talking about what you posted, but where did Christmas come from?
Oh, Nimrod, like way back.
Right, and then it's Saturnalia.
Saturnalia.
Yeah, Saturnalia. We did it. Just did a
Saturnalia,
class. Saturnalia. It comes from that. It comes from. We just read it. It literally, if it was a class we just did, like what was it on Christmas? Matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah, it's pagan, but they don't believe it's pagan.
Nah.
Then I would just tell them just to look up the history on it and just an easy Google search. Sometimes like I get to the point that like instead of like me having to prove to them, it's like you got to prove to me more. So that's how I look at things now.
That's what I was trying to ask them for verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get them to answer, what is the shadow of things to come?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they couldn't answer that part.
And that was where?
In Colossians 2 and 16 and 17.
Oh, 2 and 16. Hold on. Let me get there with you.
So like Colossians 2 and what?
16, 17.
Okay, so if you want to go, okay, this is a whole different breakdown. Okay.
And Salaki, if I could, while you
Go ahead.
The way it was that I remember it, because I'd have to read, all the way through it. There was a point in time. How do you pronounce it when they were in? Because this is Colossians. So where are they at there? And how do you pronounce it? Is it I forgot how.
Yeah, this is not what they talking about.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely not what the hell they talking about. Go ahead.
But this is talking about. So from what I remember this is talking about you can't judge a brother that missed a Passover when they were in the world and now they come and they're doing a Passover now, and then you're looking back and saying, no, you didn't make these Passovers back then. A brother can't go back and be circumcised on the 8th day if he's an adult and now he's given himself to Christ. That time has already passed.
Right. Because when you break it down, I can break it down for you the whole from 12 all the way down to.
Yeah, mostly my question was in 17 because I asked them because I knew they was breaking it down as well. I mean, breaking it down incorrect as well. So I went to 17 and I asked them, what does it mean when the verse says, which are a shadow of things to come? So and I explained to them that's talking about how the Passover is going to change from when the Lord freed us in Egypt to the Lord freeing us from America in the future. I want to know if that was correct.
Well, the shadow of things to come is like, okay, it's like let's go up to let's see where we can get you the answer. Okay, let's go to verse 12.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Buried with him in baptism, wherein also ye are risen with him through the faith of operation of God,
mm-hmm.
who hath raised him from the dead.
Right. This is like putting off the old man and putting on the new man. Because remember, the old man has to die, right? Now you're the new man now, right? Keep reading. Because you're buried with him in baptism, meaning the old man died, right? Because what is baptism? Now you're taught, right? You're being baptized, you're taught, right? So now the old man died, and now the new man is with Christ. Keep reading.
And you being dead in your sins,
mm-hmm.
and the uncircumcision of your flesh,
mm-hmm.
hath he quickened together with him,
mm-hmm.
having forgiven you all trespasses.
Right. Those are your that's the blotting out the handwriting of ordinance. That is like the things you did before, You get my point?
Right.
Those are the things you did before, and those are the past punishment that you would have received for breaking those ordinances. Go ahead.
Khan out of one Khan. Blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us.
Right, because you died. That's why it was because you died. When you're homosexual, you died. When you was an adulterer, you died. Right? So now you have a chance to live. Right? Go ahead.
And took it out the way, nailing it to his cross.
Right, because Christ died for what you did do, not for what you do now. Keep reading.
And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. Verse 16.
Because he redeemed us, right? Keep reading.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of an holiday.
Right, because we always breaking it. You get my point? That goes back to your point, what you were saying, because we always breaking the high holy days, and we was all doing that. So don't let nobody try to judge you in that, because what we just read from the past verses is that now we all coming back because of things that we were doing before. Now that thing died, that man died. Now we're all new in Christ. And so now we all have an opportunity to come back. But you can't judge a man just because of the things that he was doing before, right? Go ahead.
Khan out of one Khan. Or in respect of any holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come. But the body is of Christ.
Right. So yeah. So as like you were saying, it's I see what you're saying. It's like the shadow of things to come is when we see like all of the things that has come before, you know what I mean? Like where we were, the old man died, and we can't what's that word called? We can't judge each other in things that you might not have done because there was things that you might not have done, right? But of course, these things are going to come later on, like you said, you know what I mean? When you said that, the shadows of things to come, it's like those things are going to, how can I put it? So that you could, just real simple, so that you can get it. Trying to think of like let me get you a precept. Hold on, Slock here. The shadow, okay, it's like, okay, which is a shadow of things to come, is like the things that are going to come at you from people that know that it's like a shadow of things to come is like people will come at you with these things. You get my point? Like those things are going to come. Like let's just say, remember how when we was breaking it down earlier, where it was saying like you can't judge a person in things that they wasn't doing and the things that you wasn't doing. And they can't judge you with the things that you wasn't doing, because now that old man died and now we're with Christ. But those things are going to come. You get my point? It's not necessarily, I know what you were trying to say. You were trying to say, like, is it like the Passover? Yeah. And this is more so saying, like, the things that are going to come, like, from the people, if that makes sense. Which are a shadow of things to come. Like, all of these things that he listed out here, those are things that's going to come to you no matter what. But those things are, you gotta understand that we all have a chance in Christ. You get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not saying it right to where you can understand it, but a shadow of things to come are like the things that's going to happen. It's really like not that deep.
Okay, it's like it. So my explanation with the about the Passover, that was incorrect to say to them.
Yes, because okay, this is not like saying like a shadow. Like okay, when you say like a shadow of things to come, are you trying to say like okay, the he's basically saying you can't what it say? Let no man therefore judge you in meat, right? And that's like the the things that you were doing before. You get my point? Like what brothers was doing. Like say like you might have been celebrating Christmas and I might have been celebrating the Passover. But now that we're in Christ now, because remember what was Paul's job? To go to the Gentiles, right? Go to the Gentiles and talk to the brothers and get brothers back together. So now the issue was there were some brothers that I might try to judge this brother in meats. I might try to judge him in things that he wasn't doing, but then he can also judge me in things that I wasn't doing. Right? But the shadow of the things that were going to come is like, that's always going to be the fight between us both. You get my point?
So it's like the attack from Christians when they try to say we know who we used to be.
Exactly. It's right. It's like, yeah, it's like if you read, like, you know how like when you read like each scripture is talking about like you being dead in your sins and uncircumcision of your flesh hath he quickened together with him, having given you all trespasses, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances. Like those are the past punishments that we would have got if it wasn't for Christ. But now that we're under Christ, these are all the things that's going to come at you between, you know what I mean, the brothers who, you know, at this time, the brothers who think like, oh, well, these brothers can't come back because they were celebrating this, or, you know, because we all were sinning anyway. So this is going to be the fight that's always going to come between the brothers that's coming back to Christ. You get my point? Like the whole thing about eating meat and not eating meat. You know what I mean? Like eating, like some brothers say that it should be vegetables. Some brothers say that it should be, we only supposed to eat meat or whatever. It's like those things are always going to come. But at the end of the day, we all come back under Christ, and we didn't even, you know, because all our sins were blotted out, because through Christ we have a reason, we have a opportunity to come back to the Lord. I hope that you know that made sense. Yes. Yeah. All right. Right, and there we go. It says, "In which are the shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ." Right, the body is of Christ. Like those things are going to happen, but the body is of Christ. Like meaning that all of us are going to come together under Christ. That's the ultimate goal here. But those things are going to come because that's just Israel. You know what I mean? It's always going to do that. But what he was always trying to do was bring us back together under Christ, because they sinned. The brothers who was what's that called? The brothers who was in Jerusalem and the brothers who went off and wasn't in Jerusalem. It's still the same thing. All right. Yeah. Anybody else? Everybody good? You good? Oh, okay. Most High in Christ. I thought you were saying something. All right. So if anybody in the chat got anything?
Brothers and sisters. Oh, Salakia. Kanai just wanted to make sure that she had it right. She said the shadows of things to come are the pressures of the world, ? No, right. That's
no, because okay, at this point in time, it was the like a shadow of things to come is like saying like, okay, these things are going to happen. That's where people getting jammed up on. It's like these things are going to happen, but understand that we're all here because of Christ anyway. That's like a simple way to say it. All right, no sweat. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn the class over to Priest and Officer Kohal.
I'm sorry.
All right, no sweat.
All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. Salakia, give me 1 second. This is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits. They are to shed themselves of the world, and they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. And if transportation is needed, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Also remember tithes, which is a commandment that can be found in Numbers 18 and 21, and also Malachi 3, 8 through 10. In the Hebrew, it is ma'ashara, which is 10% of any increase the Lord gives you. Also, there's a priest fund, which is a free will offering. It is not mandatory, but it is greatly appreciated. Up in holy convocations, we have, give me 1 second, Salakia. If I could, if a brother could get me right on that. Is the next one the Passover? Is that the next one?
No,
we have something
Purim.
in between that. The Feast of Purim. And Salakia, get with your camp leader for those dates. We'll be having Feast of Purim here in Newark, Delaware, 51 Blue Hen Drive. And with that being said, if you want to be a trooper in the school, remember to wear all black boots, pants, shirt, and headband. With that being said, men of Israel, Amijim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak.
Yajamatah. We go on Sar. We going to turn to the sisters, give them a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema done by Shem Yahweh.
Yajamatah. Class dismissed.